Today we are talking about what people say is the happiest place on earth. Athletes say that's where they're going after a championship. Families go to escape to a greater reality. That's right, today we are talking about Disney. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that may be new here, we talk about becoming a better leader, and we are in the Success Formula series, so we're going to be talking about companies or leaders that we can see and take traits and become better leaders because of them. So today we are talking about the crazy company of Disney. So we're going to be going over 5 reasons why Disney is such a massive success. There's a lot of reasons why Disney is so successful. I mean, everybody loves Disney. If you don't like Disney, you may not enjoy happiness. So I took my list of the top 5 aspects on why Disney is such a successful company. Every video follows the same format, so we're going to be going through and looking at the company of Disney in 30 seconds. Cue the countdown, let's go. Walt Disney created the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio in 1923. He was a talented cartoon artist from a young age, but struggled to gain traction until 1928 when he created the famous character Mickey Mouse. From that point on, Disney created groundbreaking and acclaimed films. It has evolved into a media and entertainment company, acquiring dozens of companies such as ABC, ESPN, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. What began with a group of animators has grown into one of the most iconic companies in the world, valued at $353 billion. That's a lot of cheddar. So let's talk about why I think Disney is so successful. The first reason is because Disney centers around creating an experience over a product. Now, what do I mean by this? Disney's main objective isn't just to create a product that their customers will enjoy, but it is to create an experience that they will remember for a lifetime. There's a saying that says that people might not remember what you do, but they will always remember how you made them feel. So everything around Disney, from the theme parks to the movies to the TV series, it revolves around creating an experience that captures the audience's attention. If you've ever been to a Walt Disney theme park, you know that this is so true. It's honestly like you're stepping into an entirely new world and you're leaving Earth behind. From the stores to the characters dressed up to the music that plays right when you walk into the theme park, everything is a cohesive experience that makes you think you have truly stepped into the world of Walt Disney. People will always remember experiences over a product. You can create a product that people enjoy and people will buy into it, but if there's not an experience that comes with it, it's just gonna fade away. But the memories that products create stays with people for a lifetime. That's why they call it the magic of Disney. It's because Disney speaks to consumers on an emotional level. Of course, their movies are fantastic. Of course, their theme parks are amazing, but it's all about the experience. There are theme parks in the world that have way better roller coasters in terms of thrill and excitement and miles per hour. There's probably theme parks that have way better quality food, but that's because when Walt Disney was building these theme parks and building this company, it didn't revolve around how to beat records. It revolved around how to create an experience. And if you've ever been to Walt Disney, I think you know this is true. This is true for me. I've been to theme parks with great roller coasters, great food, and it was really awesome. But by the time I was leaving, I was kind of over it. Versus when I go to Disney and I leave, it's like a week later and I'm already wanting to go back because I want that experience again. So instead of strictly thinking about what we produce, we ought to think, how do we produce it? How do we package it? Because Disney packages their product so well. If Disney wanted to, they could create bigger roller coasters and more thrilling attractions, but they sacrificed that in order to maintain their experience. Their 2 largest attractions are Expedition Everest and Hollywood Tower of Terror, and they both stand tall at 199 feet. Now you might say that's kind of weird, but it's not. It's so intentional because at 200 feet, their rides would require aviation lights, those little blinking lights that signal airplanes so they don't crash. But they made their ride 1 foot under the requirement on purpose, so there's not a blinking red light that kids and families will look at and say, wait, what the heck is that? It would take away from the experience. So that's how we know Disney is all about the experience versus just the product that they're creating. Number 2 is similar to number 1, and it's their culture of excellence. This is my absolute favorite thing about Disney, is they are so excellent about the way that they execute everything. I mean, if you've ever been to Disneyland, you know that everything is so well done. They're able to redecorate their theme parks overnight. They have a trash system specifically so you don't see people walking around with trash, and it actually goes underground and shoots 60 miles per hour into a trash compactor. You're never 30 steps away from a garbage can because they value cleanliness so well in there. Their characters refuse to break character. They don't even sell gum because they know people would just stick it everywhere. There's so many things about Disney that is so excellent. Sure, some of their movies may not be your favorite, but you can't deny the quality of excellence across all the films on how amazing they have been. Disney led the way for film animation, and there has to be a culture of excellence in anything successful. Excellence is not the same as perfection. You'll never be able to get to perfect, but you can strive to be excellent. What's taught a lot of times is you don't have to be perfect, which is true. You don't have to be perfect, but you should strive to be great. But people will use that as an excuse to be mediocre. You will never be perfect, so don't try to be perfect, but you should always strive to be excellent. And Disney is excellent in what they do. It's a lot of planning and it's a lot of precise execution, but they do it because they know that their brand has an excellent recognition now. When you think Disney, you think excellent, you think quality. So you'll never get to perfect, but you can always strive to be excellent. Number 3 is it was built on passion. I talk about this a lot, I understand that, but you have to have a passion behind what you're doing and what you're building. Walt Disney was so passionate about his company, and passionate people become trailblazers in their industry. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Walt Disney, they're all in the same boat to where they were so passionate about what they were doing, they did what nobody had done before. Of course, people were so skeptical of Disney back in the 1920s because animation wasn't even a thing back then. So to say you're gonna base your whole career on something new is kind of risky. But he was so passionate about it that even when he went bankrupt in his first venture, he kept pushing forward and created what we see today. What gets you past the momentary pain is passion. What gets you past the momentary hardship is passion. You're almost a little bit crazy when you're passionate about something. Even after Walt Disney's Alice in Wonderland and Mickey Mouse was successful, and then Snow White was super successful after that, when he wanted to create a theme park out of nowhere, everybody was like, wait, why would you do that? You're already in something successful. But he was able to push past the negativity and the criticism because he knew his passion and he knew what he wanted. There is no amount of pain that can push past passion and purpose. This kind of leads into number 4, which is Walt Disney pushed past boundaries. And Disney ever since has pushed past boundaries. I mean, we just said it, but Walt Disney already pushed past the boundary of animation in 1926. He then pushed past the boundary of creating a theme park, and ever since then, Disney has been laying the foundation for other companies to come through. Even in this last year of craziness where companies were trying to adapt, they were trying to overcome hardship, they were trying to refocus and reallocate and re-strategize, Disney came out with Disney Plus. And in their first 5 days, they had over 50 million subscribers, okay? Each paying $7 a month, which is like a lot of money. They started releasing films not in theaters, but to people's TVs. Traditional thought is new movies go to the theaters and people will go see them in the theaters. But with COVID-19 in this last year, Disney said, hey, we have to try something new, so they began to push the boundary again. There's kind of a theme here. Disney has expanded past movies, past animation. They're in so many different lanes of their industry now because they continue to take ground and push boundaries. In leadership, you should always be thinking, how can we think differently? Innovation is so underrated. Innovate, create, and push the boundaries in your life. And the final one is expansion. Disney could have just been an animation company. They could have even just been a film company. But what they've done over the last 5 years is pretty phenomenal. They've acquired ABC, they've acquired Marvel, they've acquired Lucasfilm, the Star Wars franchise, they've acquired ESPN, sports. You're talking about so many different niches. You're talking about so many different people. And that heart of expansion came from the origin of Walt Disney in the 1920s. This first successful film of Snow White was so controversial and so hard for Walt Disney to actually create. There were so many people that told him not to create it. It took him 3 years. It took a super long time. He ran out of funding and he literally had to bring in investors and show them and act out the rest of the movie so they would be willing to reinvest so he could even finish the movie Snow White. There were so many hurdles because people didn't understand, but he knew his mission, he knew his purpose, and he knew what he wanted. And Snow White was a hit, and that was the springboard that launched the rest of his career and the rest of the company of Walt Disney as we know it. He expanded past what people considered normal. Then after the movie, he expanded with a theme park that was 300 acres, and then he expanded after that with Walt Disney World in Florida, and the expansion just continued and continued. It's the leadership principle of not getting complacent or comfortable with where you are at. There is always ground to take, and there is always steps to move forward to better you and better the people that you're leading or the organization that you're building. building. Those are the 5 leadership principles that I believe created Walt Disney as the company that we know it today, of a success, business, enterprise, world phenomenon influence that we can recognize and appreciate. Again, thanks so much for checking out this YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below. I'll reply to all the comments that are left. Remember today to grow, to become a better leader for yourself and the people around you. If you haven't watched the other videos in this series, you can click right here and there's going to be the last video of the Success Formula series that pops up with Elon Musk. So check that out. But otherwise, thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.